Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who messaged me, DM'd me, emailed me about the first vlog. You can check it out on this channel, obviously. And thank you to the people who have subscribed so far. If you haven't, please do. It was hard to kind of put all of that out into the universe when I feel like I've literally been hiding for a long time, but I'm back and I feel really liberated and really relieved, and I'm starting a whole new journey and it's really cool. So this video I am going to talk about my past and that whole life that I had and everything that I've accomplished, messed up, everything. So I thought I would just give you guys some info on who I am and what I've been through, everything like that. So I am from Canada. I am the first of 4 children. I am turning 30 in April. My siblings are all 2 years younger than each other. My mom is Portuguese, full Portuguese, and my dad is of Irish and Dutch and Polish descent. I'm not sure what percentage is what, but I'm pretty sure his dad is mostly Irish. And both of my parents are still together, amazing human beings, and I miss them so much. I started my life at a school called Lansdowne in the north end of Winnipeg, and my parents, my mom being an immigrant, my dad was born in Canada, in a huge family. They both had very humble beginnings. So we all started our lives, the 4 of us kids, in the North End in Lansdowne School, and we didn't struggle. We were very fortunate, but if we were struggling, we weren't really aware of it. I think our parents kind of hid that from us. And we got to travel a lot when we were younger. Went to Portugal, I went to Vancouver, stuff like that. So I've loved travel since I was young. And then after Lansdowne, I went to St. Mary's Academy, which is an all-girls Catholic school. I met the coolest people there, but it was a very difficult situation. Everyone there was in a very different financial situation than me, or that at least it felt that way. It was very cliquey, but I would say all girls schools probably are. But I love all those girls. There were 88 girls in my graduating class. The 88 of 88, we were all born in 88, most of us, I'm sure. So all of them, I actually still stalk a lot of them online. Hey guys. And I still stalk them, and a lot of them are having babies now and married and living in all different cities, and it's so cool. St. Mary's was a really good school. It prepared us definitely from an academic standpoint. So if you are in Winnipeg, it's a good school. And then I graduated. From young, I wanted to be a doctor. Lol. And I volunteered in a hospital when I was young. And when I was in my teens, I was a lifeguard. So I always wanted to kind of help people. And then I worked at Future Shop while I was teaching swimming lessons and a lifeguard and in school. Spoiler alert, bad idea if you are studying sciences. Having like 2 jobs and also enjoying partying and having lots of friends and a boyfriend didn't work out for me. I was in university for about like 5 years, and the first 2 years I did sciences. Then I switched to arts, and then I switched to business. So I never really finished anything. And and as I was 19, I also started a company, which many of you in Winnipeg will know as Get Ready Girls. The way I started GRG is I trained 3 or 4 women, young women, like 17 years old. I was 19, 20. I trained them for free for, I think it was 3 months. And I put my heart and soul into them, and I did that so that I would have testimonials and have girls to shoot for the first photo shoot we did and everything like that. When I started GRG, the concept was get girls ready for grad, and that's why it was called GRG. It was because I remember when I was prepping for my grad, we did it very unhealthily. And I remember I ate like 1 meal a day. You know, all the girls wanted to be very healthy and look skinny and guilty. And that's kind of what started my love for health and fitness. Was I didn't feel good, and I was eating once a day, and it was like, this doesn't feel right. Then once I was more avid into swimming and stuff, I wanted to get more into fitness. I was never skinny. I know, shocking, but I was never skinny. I was especially young when I was 13, 14. I'm gonna put a picture now. That's what I used to look like when I was like 14. I know, right? So cute. And so I really, really wanted to get into health and fitness. I wanted to be healthy and look sexy for once. So I started competing, and I contacted these people called Contest Prep in Winnipeg, and after a 1-year living spree in Victoria, drove back to Winnipeg and started training with them. I loved it. I fell in love immediately. At my very first show, I got, I think, like top 15 call-outs, but only top 10 get recognition. And I knew I wanted to do this, so I signed up to do the next show, which was, I think, 3 months later, which was Worlds. Didn't place at that show either. And then that was it for me. It really helped me competing to like propel my business. So my business took off. I hired people to work for me, and they were great. And it was amazing to work with my best friends every day. I do love them and wish them well. But it was a cool experience and very necessary for me. It is true what they say, it's very difficult to mix friendship and business. I would go into business with a friend again, and I would risk getting hurt. I would just have everything on paper, have everything in legal documents, much like going into marriage. You know, you kind of have to protect your assets, protect yourself, but it's a risk, just like anything else. You kind of have to go all in. Things got busy. I dropped out of university, and I realized that I didn't want to be a doctor. It was nothing like Grey's Anatomy. TV lied to me. Like, can you believe it? I was shocked. And I went all in my business, and those were the best years of my life, to be honest with you. I was traveling all the time, I was competing, and then I won my pro card. In 2011, I did Worlds, I got top 10 at Worlds, and I moved to the UK, and then I moved to LA, and then I met Dan. and we started speaking, and I came and visited here, went back to LA, and then decided to move here about 2.5 years ago. And when I moved here, I had to obviously make some tough calls, and it was really difficult to give up my business. It was really, really difficult. That only came later. Last year actually is when it finally dissolved. The hardest part for me, honestly, is living in a country where no one knows you. No one knows your history. No one knows like anything about you. And you would think that that's a good thing, but like when you're trying to establish yourself and no one knows you, they're just judging you by who you are then in that moment. And that's cool. I get it, but it's difficult to not be disheartened when it's like I worked for 10 years so hard on that business, and I come to Cape Town. They don't know the hard work that you put in, and they don't care. And I get it. But it's just starting over is the hardest thing. And I know a lot of people wish that they could go somewhere in the world and just start over. And as amazing as it's been for me, and it has served me, it's difficult. It's difficult to start over. But anything worth doing is. And one thing that I wanted to say about kind of like going in on your risk, like taking risks, going it all in on your passion, I never really felt connected to Winnipeg. When I lived in Victoria, BC for a year, I connected to that city, and I could feel the difference because although it wasn't the best period of my life, I was really dumb then, and a lot of times, but like especially then, I would wake up and just look outside. I lived by the ocean, and I would be like, oh, I can't believe I live here. This is amazing. In Winnipeg, it was like I felt like I was waiting for the weekend. And the thing is you would think that that means I didn't like my job, but I did. I adored my job. It was the best time of my life, and I still would wait for the weekend. I was always like, I can't wait to go on holiday. I can't wait to go to Vegas. I can't wait to travel. And that's why I loved travel so much then, because I was trying to get away from something that made me unhappy. And I did a lot of self-reflecting, and I thought, is it maybe me? Am I running away from something? Yeah, probably. I probably was. But now that I'm in Cape Town, and now that I'm in a place that like I don't want to take a holiday from, if you're not happy in your situation, you'll know. If you have doubt about where you are in your life, about your job, about your city, because to me, being in a place that inspires me was really important to me. I never even realized until I was in this city that my whole life had been preparing me to be a life coach. And everything from the time that I worked at McDonald's to traveling to being in fitness and then being in male-dominated sport, I've come across so many different people, and I never thought that I could or would be a life coach. I didn't have that girl gang anymore, that like literally tribe of like 50 people who were not only clients, but they were my friends, and they were like, we supported each other, we loved each other, we were there for each other. I don't have that in Cape Town, and I miss it so much. When I first got here, I was like, what do I do with my life now? I don't really want to be just in fitness anymore. What the F do I do? So I started watching TED Talks, on no exaggeration, like 30 a day. I started listening to podcasts. The Life Coach School by Brooke Castillo. Accidentally, because it was one of the top ones. I think I just like went on like a downloading rampage. I was like, download all. And then I kind of pressed it, and it just started playing one day. And I was doing dishes, and I was standing there looking at Signal Hill, and she started talking about life coaching. And I knew about this career because I had meditation coaches and life coaches and stuff in Canada and mentors, and I haven't had one in the last few years. Obviously, I've been moving around and getting married and blah blah. And she said something that changed my life forever. She said, because I always thought that I needed to be older to do something like that. and she said that if people don't resonate with you, they're not your people. I've always had people. I've always had clients that really mesh with me. And the only reason I haven't is because I haven't been settled in a city. And I realized that my experience is enough. Everything that I've been through was teaching me and taking me to this moment. And that day was when I first moved here, so like June, July 2017. And I haven't stopped studying since. And you know, some days are hard. Some days I'm like, I would love for this visa to hurry up. I wish I had my mom here, my sister, my brothers, my dad. And some days are hard, but it's so different when you have a purpose and when you know what you're going for. I always knew since 19, my motto, my business mantra, everything was to educate women worldwide about the benefits of health and fitness in a positive female setting. And I'll never forget that I did that when I was 18. And when even listening to podcasts and stuff, when they say like, what's your purpose? Like, I've never struggled with that. I know that I'm enough, and I'm fortunate that I've always had a passion for empowering women and helping other people realize their potential. And I used to think that motivation was, hey everyone, look what I did, you can do it too. That's not motivation. Motivation is showing not what you've done, but what you can do. So that's where my whole thing shifted. And it was a gradual shift. But now, and it's different because a lot of people don't really resonate with that right away. And I think that now that I know beyond a reasonable doubt what my 5 and 10-year goals are, I'm a lot less distracted. I could get job offers for anything. To be a pilot, it wouldn't sway me. I know exactly what I want to do, where I want to be, and I think if you aren't in that place, that's when you get distracted, and that's when you are off your path. And you know when you're off your path. Like, I can't say it any other way other than like, you know when things are wrong. If you, especially even in relationships and jobs, if you are asking your mom for advice, your best friend for advice, if you're Googling, am I in the right relationship? Or am I supposed to be this sad all the time? And if you're always looking for a distraction, you're not on the right path. So that was the biggest lesson for me, is unless it fits in your 5 to 10-year goals, and unless you know beyond a reasonable doubt that this is what you want to do, don't do it. And if you are unhappy in the city you're in, or if you are unhappy in the job you're in, I'm not going to say up and move, because I did that. It's really hard. And unless you have like the financial means or someone to rely on, it's not going to work. And I'm not going to say just quit your job, but I will say in the evenings, work on your shit. If you know what your purpose is, great. Work towards that in the evenings. If you don't, guess what? You got to try some new shit. So go online, search free courses in my area, or go to Udemy or iTunes, download some books, listen to some podcasts, and try some things you've never done before. You might be an incredible guitarist and you don't know. You might have a passion for fitness and you don't even know it. You might be an incredible hairdresser and you just never pursued that passion, and that might be your passion. I think everything that speaks to us leads us in our direction in some way. And me following every little passion, including medicine, including sales, led me to where I am now. And all those skills combined have led me to what I know my purpose is, that I will fulfill. And it's helping women realize their own potential, but through their eyes, using health and fitness as the catalyst for that. And everything, all my mistakes, everything, all my fitness competing and traveling and even ex-boyfriends, all of them served a role in teaching me about different personalities and everything. So other than being patient, bite the bullet and do what you have to do to realize your dreams and realize your goals. So that's it for me. I hope that I inspired you in some way, or that maybe you learned a thing or two. And I'm always here for you. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. It's Drea Vessels, DREIAWESSELS. And I'm always here for you. So now you know a bit about my past, and I can't wait to share my future with you and what I'm writing and the programs I'm doing and everything like that. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing and just supporting me in this brand new adventure. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.